Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Talk with Ben podcast. And I'm so happy you decided to join me today. And if you're new, my name is Ben. And on this podcast, we're talking about everything and anything that, well, I think of, I guess. But thank you so much for joining me this evening, this morning, this day, whenever you're listening. But yeah, there's a few things that I wanted to cover today. And it's weird because lately I've been recording on Tuesday. So Tuesday and Thursday. So like for an episode on Tuesday, I've usually been recording like Tuesday morning. I'll shower and then get ready for the day and then end up, talking and doing the podcast and recording. But what I'll be getting to is there's been a switch in schedules, which is awesome. It's awesome to see. But it's now made it harder to do it during the day. So I'm back to doing it at night. So grandma, if I yawn, it's because I am exhausted, and you'll find out why if you keep listening. So, so I'm super, got a few things I want to talk about. I wanted to start with this, because I know I've been getting some questions, and I also know that there will be people wondering my opinion on this certain subject that I'm about to talk about. As many of you know, there's been a situation at my alma mater, Cedarville, the place I love, the place I, called my home for many years. And I just want to be open and honest that, as of right now, I will not be commenting or using this platform here on the podcast to discuss it. As you know, I'm very open, I'm very honest, but I feel like right now is just not the time to talk about it, of my either feelings or what I think should be done. That will come maybe at a later time. I don't even know if I'll talk about it, but I want to just be very open with you guys. I wanted to be very clear that as of right now, there are no plans to talk about it on the podcast scene. Even though it was tempting to talk about it and just to share my thoughts, I felt like it's not right to either the families or even just Cedarville itself. So to get out of that way, finally, since I got that out of the way, I just wanted to get that done with. So moving on, there's a few things I actually want to talk about today. It's kind of interesting because I actually was thinking about this, what do I talk about? I'm starting to I feel like sometimes I'm getting close to overlapping ideas. But I have some cool news. Actually, hopefully next week, I think possibly Thursday's episode next week. I don't know for sure, but my friend Donnie will be joining me for a podcast episode, maybe two. We'll see. I don't know, but he's going to be joining me, which is good because I cannot speak today. I haven't had a guest on since Diego, which was I think almost 10 episodes ago now. So it's been a while. So I'm really looking forward to that, for you getting to know him. I've done an interview on my YouTube channel, but that was 2 years ago. So it's been a while since I've actually been able to just talk with him in a good way, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, there's two things that are sort of, this thing's kind of intertwined what I just said. So Donnie will be coming on, and I'm sure he'll talk about his new endeavor that the Word of Life camp team has put together. They have started a podcast. If you haven't seen or if you don't know about it, the only thing is it's in Hungarian completely. So until we have enough people convince them to do a couple episodes in English, it's in Hungarian. So I'm going to go ahead and link that though below, just because I think it'd be kind of cool for you guys to at least check it out and to maybe understand or hear Hungarian if you've never heard it, but also just to support them as well. And I'm sure he'll talk about that when he's on. But I just thought I'd mention that. I think it's kind of cool that they're doing a podcast. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. So that is what's kind of going on with him and what's kind of going on with that ministry. But I have a fun thing. If you watch my video on Friday, yes, the recap, you will know what I'm about to talk about. I received, and if you're watching on YouTube, you can kind of see, I received my residency permit from the Hungarian government. So I'm legally allowed to stay here for a year. So, but that's been really exciting. As many of you know, that's been a prayer request of mine to get this. It's kind of funny because it looks like a license. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. It's a keepsake I'll keep for a long time. And some people might think that's weird, and I don't care, but it's something that I'll always want to keep and just as memory. So that's really exciting. That's opened up more things. So I'll be able to obviously travel more and be able to do stuff like that. So that is what went on with me, I guess, last week. And then if you saw another video, which came out, I'm recording this on Monday, so it came out yesterday. But on Sunday, you would have saw the Workday 2 video that should have been out like 2 weeks ago, but I never got the chance to actually edit all of the footage. But I put it together. It's just it's a video that was showing kind of the ministry that I had to that has kind of changed and the way I look at things. And that's what kind of led me into what this episode of the podcast would be. Because I honestly didn't know like what I was going to talk about, like I said earlier, but after today, trust me, there's something to talk about. But so starting today, so this is Monday, obviously it's coming out on Tuesday, but starting this week, we are doing so basically we are doing a shift in what we're doing. And that was a terrible way to say that. But as you know, a few weeks ago, I was talking about how, we were sending staff home, we were working from home, and we were making some changes. And part of that is that I'd been kind of asked to lead the maintenance guys, which is really there's only 3 of us. And we had been working through, if you've been watching those videos, we've been working through clearing out some brush, clearing out different parts, picking up big logs, sticks, branches, whatever, and taking care of that. And it's been really good. But with 3 guys, it's kind of hard. And then we found out last week that Alex, our director, and met with the leadership team, and they had decided that they were going to allow staff to come on campus, not into their offices, but they're going to be allowed to come on campus, and their job, their ministry is going to be working at clearing a whole bunch of brush and just making the place look really nice. And something that I guess, according to some of the maintenance guys, had been needing to be done for many years, but it was really cool. And it was interesting because, it was cool to see everyone out there. We had interns, we had, some of the students in the afternoon decided they wanted to come out and help. We had tech people, music people. We had local church ministry teams. We had camp staff. I mean, you name it. Everyone was out there, chopping away, using some amazing tools, which I'm hoping to put at least I might post a video or a photo on my Facebook or on my Instagram. It depends, but probably on my Instagram story. And if you want to, know my Instagram story, or if you want to watch, I cannot talk today. I'm so sorry. If you want to watch the story on my Instagram, you can just click that right. Well, not really click it, but you can follow that, and it'll link it down below. My Instagram, which is at @BigBen6_6, and you'll be able to watch that at some point. But I was just going to put kind of some photos and videos of what we started, which was using basically a weed whacker, but it was like a 2-handed weed whacker. And like I've used a weed whacker before, but it was like not one with metal. It was like it has like that plastic on the end, and you just, you chop it up or whatever. And I've used that on the farm and stuff. But he goes, "Have you used a weed whacker before?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I've used one millions of times before." And he brings this thing, and it's like, it's literally a 2-handed weed whacker. You wear this like harness, you hook it on, but then it has like a trident in it's not a trident. It was like a star, like a ninja star. That's a better way to describe it. And it was like blades, like metal blades. And I'm like, oh, it was a lot more powerful than I thought, but it was kind of fun to learn, like just how to use it. So we used that for a while. And then we also were, clipping and, sawing different things, and guys were coming with chainsaws, cutting down some big branches. And it was funny because it was actually brought flashbacks to when I was a kid and when I was a teenager, and my grandma would be like, here's the clippers, go out and clip some branches. And it was just, it was crazy. And I wish, I'm so mad. I wish I would have took a picture before and after. We're not completely done, but we're pretty close. And what was funny with it is one of the guys that was working with me, Mark, he was like, Ben, did you take, literally at the end of the day, he goes, did you take a picture of before and after? I'm like, thank you, Mark, for telling me now. But no, in all seriousness, it was a really great time, and not something I expected I'd be doing when I came over here. And many of you probably know that's the case, because as many of you know, I was planning to, come work with children's ministries, come work with local church ministries, and, all these different things. But once again, I was reminded today, especially like as we're working, as I see everyone working, and people maybe out of their comfort zone, and people not comfortable all the time being out in the woods and being where bugs are at and sticks and twigs and stuff like that. There was no complaining. There was no arguing. In fact, I think there was a lot of joy. There was a lot of happiness. I could see the smiles and everything. And it was super cool because it reminded me why I'm doing this, why I started this journey 7-8 months ago, why last summer when I was leaving Hungary, I sat on a plane and decided, I think I want to try this. I think I want to try to be a missionary. And it was something that I didn't know what to expect back then. And I think over time I was like, okay, well, I know what I'll be doing, this, or this. But again, I was reminded, just like I was reminded last week, I was reminded today, that God's plan for our ministry is not our plan for ministry. He's going to use your talents. He's going to use what he's gifted you, in some sense. And in some sense, he's going to do that. For me, I've been able to make some videos. I've been able to, when I first got here, I was able to just watch some of the English teaching and try to encourage them and show them some new ways and stuff like that. But for the most part, this is not what I expected. And honestly, some of this is out of my comfort zone. Yeah, I grew up helping out, around my grandma's house and on the farm and doing those certain things. But this wasn't what I was expecting. This wasn't what I was hoping for. In reality, when it was announced that we'd be doing this 4 days a week, there was part of me that was kind of upset because I was like, I want to be doing something that I could feel like I could be helpful or feel like I could make an impact. But I was reminded, actually, one of my friends, we had been, I called him about a week ago. And one thing he said was, and he challenged me with, was something that I will always probably remember while I'm here, is that God has you in ministry because he wants you there. That doesn't mean we get to determine ministry. And it's something that I guess I didn't expect. And it's something that I guess I didn't see because I again was very, I was comfortable. I know a couple episodes ago, I talked about being comfortable, having comfort. If I could talk today, I'm so sorry. I'm exhausted today, but if I could have comfort in something, it shouldn't be myself. It should be in Christ. And so, that's really what I think, like I said on Thursday, when I was talking about, what these 50 days have taught me and what these 50 days have kind of helped me understand. It's something that I guess I don't know, maybe I just took for granted before I came and expected things to go smoothly. Maybe because the last few months have gone really great. And I think once again, I'm reminded that I have to quit trying to do this on my own, and I have to be able to lean into God and say, hey, you got me. I guess it gets harder too when, there are stuff going on back home and with the Cedarville situation, especially, and just other situations. Like it's kind of hard sometimes to like focus on like, God, you have me all the way over here in Hungary. I'm here, you know, wanting to serve, and I was going to serve in a certain way, but now I went from serving in a certain way to sort of feeling like, okay, I'm kind of lonely, I'm kind of confused, to now I'm doing this, which is something completely not what I was expecting. And I think through all those phases, it's been kind of cool to see how like God has opened these doors or opened these conversations or whatever. And for me, that's especially true. Through this, I haven't been able to see my really good friends here very often. If it is, it's in passing or it's a quick conversation. But what it has done, it's allowed me to step out of my comfort zone and to be with people that maybe don't speak a lot of my language of English, or maybe I'm not as comfortable around them because I don't really know them, and to be able to talk with them and to get to know people. And it's funny because if you remember, I think it was one of the episodes before I left, I said, hey, I really want to get to know new people. I think I just said that, and I didn't actually think that was what was going to happen. But, God likes to listen to everything we say, and he will use that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it was really cool today. It was hard work. I mean, like I said, I'm exhausted. We were all exhausted. I've taken 2 or 3 showers today. Just beat, mentally and physically. But ministry is not going to be a cakewalk. It's not something you just go and you sit in an office and you do, easy work. Sometimes we have to do the hard work and things that, might be a little bit out of some of our comfort zones. And, for me, yeah, I think it's kind of surreal, and sometimes I don't always believe that what God is doing. I think I've had multiple people here come up to me like, Ben, man, I'm so sorry. This is not what you expected. I mean, I've heard that multiple times, and I look at them and I'm like, what's there to be sorry about? Like, God's allowing me to have the opportunity to serve. Like, I'm here to serve Christ. And I think that's something that, like, sometimes I think I, at least early on, was like forgetting, like, I'm here to serve. Like, I'm here to be Christ's servant and here to help those here at camp, whether that's, the BI staff, the Word of Life staff, the camp staff, or whatever. I'm here to help and here to be an encouragement, and that's my goal. And I think I've been reminded of that lately, and just encouraging words from people around here to just trying to be there for people, and to be encouraging and that sort of thing. And so, God's in control, and I get some questions from back in the States, and people are like, do you wish you would have waited or whatever? I'm like, I had no idea this was going to happen. The coronavirus was sort of happening in Europe, but I had no idea this was going to happen. I had no idea that any of this was going to happen. But, like I said, every missionary is going to experience something in their first year or two of ministry. And this is what I'm experiencing. It's how am I going to handle it? How am I going to focus on Christ? And that's what's really been exciting. Like, I've been able to humble myself. Like, I've learned a lot about myself, how to be more humble, how to just dive into God's word differently. I think many times when I was at Cedarville or when I was at home, I would like look at God's word. I would be like, okay, I do my devotion for the day and kind of a check mark. And we were challenged here by our director, and that's something I really put focus in, was like, don't make it just a check mark, make it part of your day. Like, do that before anything else, or in part of your day, put away time for Christ, set aside time for Christ. And it's so true. And, I challenge all of you, like, have you set a time for Christ? Have you set a time where you can just just think or whatever. And, for me, it's not always just sitting down and reading and then that's it. A lot of times, like pretty much every night, I mean, tonight I didn't, but pretty much every night I walk for an hour and a half, and I walk around campus and I just pray and I think, and, um, I ask God what he wants from me, and what he um, would like me to do in ministry. And, um, I've always said that it might go down as the most interesting 1 year missionary journey that anybody's experienced, but it will be worth it because I'm giving everything to Christ and I'm willing to serve Christ. And so, um, yeah, it's not really, I guess, I think today was more of I'm just going to share things. It's not really a topic per se, other than a change in ministry. Because it's not what I guess the world said I should be doing or what I said I should be doing, but it's what God said I should be doing. And, through this, I know I'm going to build better relationships, bigger relationships. You know, I've already started to get to know a lot more of the people that are living around here that I wouldn't have gotten to know without the coronavirus. Like these students here and even some of the interns and some of the staff that are here on campus. Like I feel like I wouldn't have gotten to know them as well because I'd be focused on like my friends and focusing on what I need to do. Or at this point, I'd be living in another place and wouldn't be around them. So I've really realized that there are the small blessings. And I know we've been challenged by that. I think by multiple people is like finding those small blessings in this time of the coronavirus. And for me, it's been meeting new people. It's been stepping out of my comfort zone, changing plans, which is definitely out of my comfort zone. I do not like plans being changed. I'm very stubborn. Thanks, Dad. No, I love you, Dad. But yeah, I don't like plans changed. I don't like things being shifted right away and being forced to do one thing or another thing when I wasn't expecting it. But like all of those things have been learning experiences and blessings from Christ. Like God has given me those opportunities to learn those things. So that way, as I go through ministry and as I go through life and when I have children and when I'm teaching or when I'm working in a business or working in ministry, like every part of my life will be focused on Christ, and even those trials and those tough times can be centered on Christ and can see those blessings that are even hidden underneath. And that's what I would challenge, I think, all of you with is in this time of craziness, of weird times, look at those, trying to find those blessings, try to find what God maybe is teaching you. And what God is maybe challenging you with, for me right now, it's challenging with the idea of the change in ministry of, I don't know how long this is going to be. It could be this week. It could be 2 weeks. It could be 3 weeks. But what I do know is that like Christ he's number one for a reason. He knows everything for a reason. I still think back to the Billy Graham video I watched where, he was like, if we tried to understand or if we knew what God was doing, then we wouldn't believe him. And it's true. Like if I would have known that this was going to happen, I'd be like, God, I don't think you would be doing that, but that's God. And he's truly remarkable. And so, I just hope today, like I said, like, I don't know if it was necessarily a topic. It was more or less me sharing my heart. And I hope that that's a good, just reminder for everyone and hopefully can bring you some joy and bring you some, just some encouragement in this weird time, because I know we all need it. So, once again, I love this place and I love doing ministry here. And even if it's different than what I expected, I love it because what I'm doing is serving Christ and that's what I'm here for. Yeah. And so, one more thing before I go, I guess as I finish up, it's a terrible transition, Ben, but who cares? I am, as you can see, I'm growing, my beard's growing. If you're watching, obviously, if you're listening, you can't see it, but, my beard's growing out. My hair's growing out. I've kind of decided that I'm going to grow my beard, until the coronavirus is over. So it might be really long, or it could be trimmed here shortly. Some people might like it. Some people might hate it. You know what? Haters be haters. But anyway, so if you notice some videos and you're like, his hair is really long or his beard's pretty long. Yeah, that's why. Is there a good reason why? I don't think that's a good reason why, but I'm just doing it because I don't know, give some interesting part to my life. But no, in all seriousness, thank you so much for listening. I know this one was a different episode. I'm hoping next episode, I really won't say it, but like, I don't know what next episode is going to be because I haven't really planned it yet. So maybe something a little more fun, a little more spice into the episodes. We'll see. Maybe I'll talk about some of my favorite foods, some of my favorite things so far in Hungary. I don't know. But like I said, though, next week, there will be a guest on, hopefully next week. But at some point here in the next couple episodes, there will be a new guest on, Donnie. So I'm really excited for that. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day. Whether it's Tuesday you're watching this, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever. Hope you have a great day. Once again, thank you so much for watching or listening. It really means a lot. I love the support. And if you're listening on iTunes or Apple Podcast or Spotify, go ahead and, star it up. If you're listening and watching on YouTube, go ahead and click that thumbs up button and subscribe, because that will really allow me to see that you enjoy these videos, and it keeps you in touch with all the fun videos that are coming out, the podcast episodes and recaps, everything you'll be able to watch. So go do that. Why not? And once again, remember, God is faithful and you can trust him. And as always, we'll talk next time.